Alright, just a view of the Fenix HP12. Of course, we're out camping again. And that's usually when I review my stuff. Here's the battery. This is taking a Nitecore NL189, but really it's just a 1865 lithium-ion battery, 3400 mAh. It's a nice battery. I mean, for backup, all you need to do is carry these two, actually I have 4, but you can carry just 2 lithium primaries, Surefire ones. I think there's a Trinergy. I like the Surefire, so. And they're incredibly light. Square cut threads. Phoenix does a good job with that. Supposedly it's drop rated like 8 feet, something like that. I've been using it for a couple weeks. Only got a few dings on the anodizing, that's about it. It's supposed to be waterproof down to like 6 feet or so. I don't know the rating. It's supposed to be dust proof. Supposed to be cold proof when you use the CR123 primaries. I don't think you can use the CR12, the RC whatever 123 primary rechargeables. You're supposed to use one of these big ones, but I don't know. Anyways, it's using a XML version 2, cool white, but the tint really isn't that bad. It makes a nice big. It's a big LED, you know, Richard. Big LED, smooth reflector makes a big like flood with a slight hot spot. So that's cool.
I like that.
That is cool. Actually, it makes it nice. It even shows you negative or positive in case you just can't figure out which way the
right.
You know, the only possible spot when things could go wrong, it shows you how to open this, is you take this cap off.
Yeah. Okay, yeah,
and
I know,
you drop
right?
it.
Drop it down a crevasse between the rocks.
Oh, you don't even need all that fun. Just drop it right in front of you at night in the snowbank. Drop it into. That's the only thing you really got to like white knuckle this sucker, because
sort of needs a little spot for a tether.
I don't know. It's just one of those things where
that's
it's the only
the things that only happen out in the woods.
Right. The coolest factor though is that it's easy to take off and put on.
Right.
But you could just drop it. So you got to really watch little parts, you know.
Yeah.
All these wires. I use the headband. It's pretty darn comfortable. Headband's really comfortable because it's lightweight, especially when you're using those. But I don't know. I think I prefer. They have one that takes the this same battery up front like this. It's got a neutral white emitter, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know the weight up front. I think it's better like balanced out, kind of like that. I prefer the top band. You don't have to use a top band, but I just like using the top band. Another big pro about this is that I can. I don't know. I'm not into electronics, but I think that this thing can go down to like 10 or 15. But we're off and out when it's colder than that. So you can keep the battery pack under your hat. Yeah. At the same time, keep this so the LED is out, you know, where it's cold, which is ideal for it. Yeah. And the battery pack is under your hat where it's warmer, which is ideal for it. So it's kind of like you get the best. You know, and I know that there's no, you know, the LEDs are hot, but this thing's ice cold. It's as cold as ice. Yeah. So there's no way it's going to heat up the battery too.
I think with the battery pack in the back, it feels more balanced.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
All the weight isn't up front.
Now on the flip side, though, you got this cable here, which is another vulnerable point, though, because if it's all one unit, it's just this cable's rugged. I don't think it's going to break.
No, I don't think so.
But it's just the flip side. So all right, we've already tested this out. I've done it for a couple weeks on a bunch of trips, but we're going to take it out tonight again, milling around so you guys can see the beams. And there's 4 settings. One's like a 10 lumen low setting, which is kind of nice. I wish I had a micro, one of those moonlight settings, like 0.1 lumens or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. But
at night,
but the 10 lumens is a good general one for around camp. I think the next one's like 50, then 150, 450, and 900. I'll put the official stats up because I don't keep that stuff in my memory. I don't read off cards either, so you know. But I think it runs. I'll put the runtime and everything. The 50 is really good for just general hiking. 10's great around camp or hiking if it's known trail. 150, and of course that 900 lumen burst is just to wow everybody and see the entire world. So all right, we'll take this out later on tonight, and I'll show you all how it is. We're out here in the ice store of all things, and I'm testing out this new headlamp. So let's see what we got. One cool thing about it, you crank it down, so when you're hanging out in your teepee, camp or whatever, you look where it's right below you without blinding your friends. It's called a headlamp courtesy. So it's got a nice range of, good range. Okay, this is the 10 lumens. You see, it's a nice little path. Get off this path. There you go. There you go. So we don't want to stay in this packed down path here because that gets pretty ugly. So this is 10 lumens. That's, I guess they're on the 50. I don't know I put it earlier in the review, the exact lumens of each mode. But that's the 50. They actually had a race here, some kind of winter race. That's why they have these tape all over the place. Look at this. That's the ice storm. So that's just the way it is. Nothing you want to be walking out lost overnight over here in New Hampshire. Okay, I gotta stay on this path. All right, let's move it up to the, I think it's like 150 mode. You notice it's got a really nice, I don't know if you can see in the video, it's got a wide hot spot, a wide spill, so it's kind of like, I guess I'd call it punchy flood, but it really can throw too. So it's got a good, I guess that's the XML version 2 LED in a small reflector. It's going to produce a wide flow. The tint's not bad. I mean, the tint's doesn't bother me. I don't like cool white, but this cool white, it's got a slight bit of yellow, while at the same time not being green, which is always a nice, nice addition. That's kind of cool. Look at that snow drifts in there. I don't want to go in there though. Well, yeah, I do actually. I don't know why I'm this way, but it's what I am. Oh, look at that. Okay, so let's we'll bump it up to 450. See all the snow drifts in there. I'm trying to get out. I'm just hiking along this trail a little bit. I'm going back to the yurt, another type of shelter, not teepee, but a yurt this time. So I don't have snowshoes, so I'm not gonna go in there. Okay, that's a 450. Ice storm is not the ideal environment to be hiking, but it's this headlamp's supposed to be freeze proof, this proof, that proof, everything proof. So, you know, what we have here, see all those clippings, see those droppings, see all that chewing up there? That is from a look at all that. That's from a porcupine. That's what that's from. So we have some porcupine activity in here. And the 450 lumens really spills up the whole trail, shoots up. It's impressive. Let's drop that back down, then it drops right back down to the 10 lumens, which, you know, around camp, it's just fine. I can get away with that, but I prefer the 50. For regular hiking, 50 is great. All right, let's go back this way. We're gonna spool this up to the turbo, which I believe lasts for 30, I don't know, it's either like 30 seconds or a minute. I don't know the exact how long it stays on turbo. 900, wow. Despite the fact that the light doesn't have a concentrated, super concentrated hotspot, the sheer power alone throws it. Look at that. Everything's frozen. Okay. Drop this back down from the 950. Put it back on the 50, which I'm using hiking. Very easy button. I don't know if you can see. It's an easy button right there. Just gentle tap. I really like about it though. I don't know if you can see. Oh, there's no light back. You can't see back. There's no light. But the has a screw. Has like a screw, like a flashlight. You screw it in on the tail, pop in the batteries. In this case, I'm using 1860, but I could also use two CR123s. Now, what I like about the model, there's two models. Actually, Fenix has two models. One model they have where everything's up front, and it actually has a nice neutral LED. neutral tint. Problem is, these rechargeables aren't totally immune to cold, like the CR123s, which actually are not totally immune to cold, but you know, -40. Sometimes you can get out below that, but generally that pretty much covers most every situation. But I can put the battery pack under the you probably can't see it, but I can put it under my hat, and that gives it a little bit more protection. Like the battery pack, for instance, when I feel it, it's relatively warm. The housing here is cold. So cold LED, warm battery, that's exactly what I want. Exactly what I want in LED light. Just like before, when we did the, oh, another hike in the, dang, it was cold too. That was the ice storm hike. But this is close. If I went down another 2 degrees, this would be an ice storm. 450. Push it up to the burst 900. Well, that's pretty bright. It's pretty bright. Drop back down, 450, drops 900. The light doesn't have tremendous throw though. Doesn't have tremendous throw, and that's because, drop back down. Let's take a look over this ledge. All the way down. Still amazingly, even though we're pushing April almost, look at that. Still got some good snow. That's almost a foot, at least in this area. See, I illuminate the entire forest. But my throw is limited a bit. I mean, it's more than enough, but it's definitely limited. Drop back down. Oh, this little trail here. 10 lumens. 50 is my generally preferred hiking setting for this light. That's my preferred. And 900, if I think it's, oh look, the Sasquatch. That's what that 900 is for. Other than wowing people and identifying Bigfoot, it's an awful lot of light, you know. I have no doubt I'm not gonna have a problem with this light. Pull it out. The slush. That's the solid aluminum construction with the O-ring. I gotta tell you too, I really enjoyed putting on a slushy headlamp. That was a pleasure. That was a pleasure. I think that's enough. I think that's enough. So that is just about it for this review. I'm going to say I highly recommend buying this headlamp. I think it's one of the downsides, like 64 bucks. I mean, it's a little steep, but the build quality is awesome. This company, I've had really good luck. I think I've only had one of their flashlights fail on me, and that was a one that this company rebranded for Leatherman. And I think that particular model failed twice. So I guess it's just was a bad run. But other than that, this particular brand of flashlight has really done me well. Oh, one last thing, just to make sure, just in case I didn't, I might as well pop this back on and quickly go. Somebody's gonna ask, wonder why I didn't go through the modes real quick. So we'll do it right now. There we go. Nice fitting battery. There we go. Basically, the output on this one is 400 lumens for 3 hours and 45 minutes, 150 lumens for just over 10 hours, 50 lumens, 36 hours, 10 lumens, 145, that's a long runtime. And this weird burst, 900 lumens, you gotta hold it for like a little over a second, and it runs, I would say it runs definitely under 30 seconds and sets back. But it's such a bright setting. I other than, as I said, look, there's a Sasquatch, or is that a coyote, or whatever, I don't know. I don't have use for that bright setting, other than the coolness factor. So just kind of hold it for a second, turn it on. What did I tighten? Yeah, tighten it all the way though. Oh, there we are. Easily locks out, and I really like that. Just for a second, there we go. Comes on. There's your that's a low, highest, crazy burst. Here's something interesting too. There it is on the setting. Now I turn it off by holding it. Comes right back on the same setting. So there's definitely a memory. I don't know how I feel about that, because I like to hike with the 50 lumens, but around camp, or if I'm just going through the pack, I like to use 10. So, but this means I got to keep toggling it. It doesn't remember. Or if I jump up to the 450, I have to go back. It'll turn back on at 450, and that means that I really want to use it to 50. So I got to go a couple switches over. I don't know if it makes any sense what I'm trying to say, but it tends to be the memory. It's supposed to result in less switching around, but somehow it results in more switching around. And I think it's because I tend to use the 10 or 50 lumens the most, but I like screwing around with the 450. So I don't really know how I feel about lights that have a memory mode on it. It's kind of nice when I'm continually hiking with 50 lumens, but if I want to push it up to like the 150, which I'll do, on and off. This means to get back down to the 10, I got to run through the 450, I believe, then go back down to the 10. If I want to go over to 50, I got to go once more. There's a lot of clicking going on because of the memory, which is supposed to save the clicking. If I go to the higher modes, I want to drop back to the lower modes, it increases the clicking. That make any sense? I don't know, but to each their own. In either case, I'm really nitpicking because it's an awesome product. So that pretty much concludes my review of this headlamp, other than the $64 price tag, which I think is actually probably a bargain, considering, all you get, and it's quality, it's all aluminum construction. Well, this might be plastic here, but the light itself is aluminum. You can remove this middle headband. I like it because I wear it with a hat. As I said, keeps my head. I keep the battery pack when I'm not using the lithiums primaries under my hat, and this prevents it from sagging down from the hat. But I've seen people use it without this headband. I mean, the center part of the headband. So, to each their own. Okay, that will generally conclude this review. Take a look, behold. It is time for me to get the heck down off this hill. I'm talking a couple hours, but it is what it is. Fortunately, I do have a headlamp. And as always, thanks a lot for looking.